Conservation is the profession that is devoted to saving our cultural heritage. As a paintings conservator, I work to ensure the safety of these paintings long term. So we conserve works of art because they're so important to the human condition and to the human history of, where we came from, where we're going from here. Without sort of conserving all of these works over time, a lot of old master paintings in particular would not exist. This painting behind me, this fresco, would not have survived without some sort of intervention over the course of the past few hundred years. So then, without our research into not only historical methods and materials, but also contemporary methods of conservation, we'll be able to ensure that these works will survive for years to come. Our actions are all done mostly in the service of keeping the works of art safe. As conservators, we follow a guidelines for practice and a code of ethics so that we can ensure not only the highest standards of practice for our own work, but also continuity of work over time. So we often refer to conservation as a bit of a three-legged stool. There are three main strengths that you have to be a successful conservator. The first being the studio arts, so that you can know both materials for how a work was made, and then also the hand skills to be able to mimic, for instance, an artist's technique when compensating for a loss. The second would be art history, so knowing the context, why this painting was made, the socioeconomics of the area that it was made in, and then kind of the cultural significance of that object. The third, and I would say often some of the most important skills, would be the sciences, chemistry in particular, so that we know on a molecular level what is happening to a painting as it degrades, as it deteriorates, so that when we go in to intervene, we can slow down that progression of deterioration. So there's definitely a lot that goes into conserving a painting, and I would say first and foremost, you have to document everything. Examination is key, taking your time to really understand what's going wrong with the painting, what we need to figure out in order to improve it to the best of its ability. So from non-destructive imaging and analysis techniques, we can also take microscopic samples of paints to be able to get an idea of not only what pigments are present, but then also the stratigraphy, or a cross-section of a painting. Which layers came first, how thick perspective layers are before the next layer after that was added, and kind of start to get an idea of how this painting was made and with what materials this painting was made. So whatever we decide is best to move the treatment forward, it is always done specifically with the artist's integrity in mind and what the artist's original intent would have been to create this work, so that we are ensuring not only the artist's intent, but also the long-term stability and safety of the work so that future generations can enjoy it as well.
My name is Jiajing Sun. I'm from Shanghai, China. I am an international student. I'm currently studying in art history and chemistry. I actually started to know conservation because of my experience in Florence last summer for my summer program. I went to the church and the museum to see the frescoes and art paintings in person. They are really impressive. I was shocked by the power of the art, and I really want to help to preserve this beauty for the future generation.
Many conservation labs in the past would have been behind closed doors in inaccessible areas of the museum, and only a few people will have access to these spaces. What we're trying to do here is to allow a layer of visibility within the conservation lab so that you can see these paintings at their most vulnerable and see the amount of work and effort and dedication it takes to really bring these paintings back to a level that they'll be safely enjoyed within the galleries. We're allowing opportunities for closer, more hands-on learning. Students are given the opportunity to gain pre-program experience in this laboratory in order to work towards their career in conservation. It's a long road building the types of skills that are required of conservators, and that three-legged stool of art, art history, and the sciences. And if we can give students some sort of direction towards gaining those skills while learning about our collection as a whole, I think that'll be ideal.